Nigel Paine, welcome to Melbourne.
Thank you very much, Simon.
Nigel, I understand you're about to release a new book. What's it called and what's it all about?
It's about leadership development, and it's got an amazingly appropriate title. It's called Building Leadership Development Programs from Zero Cost to High Cost That Work. So the key words are that work. So the focus of the book is on the factors and criteria that will tend to create leadership development programs that actually change behaviour, that really change organisations, not for a week or a day, but permanently. That's the function, because I was so depressed really about the onslaught of publications saying that leadership development is a load of old rubbish. And I was also depressed by the promises by some of the protagonists saying, we will change your organisation, just give us 3 people for a day and everything is fantastic. Neither of those extremes are appropriate. So I really burrowed into a number of organisations and into the literature to work out, are there factors that will tend to lead to success or not? That's it. And I found some.
Excellent. So you've worked in this field for a long time. You've done a lot of research, and that's not your first book.
No.
In working on this one, were there some more recent trends that emerged, or things that perhaps have changed or risen to the surface in more recent times that stuck out to you?
Yeah.
But one of the prompts for the book was the fact that the investment in leadership development globally has doubled in the last 4 or 5 years. It's now a $50 billion a year industry. It's huge. So that really amazed me, that it's such a huge industry. And the fact that CEOs around the world are saying the leadership pipeline, quality of leadership is absolutely critical for my organisation. And as the kind of pressure, if you like, on leaders grows, the discontent with the outcomes rises as well. So I think it's a really hard job, and it's getting harder. And I really don't want to be on the side of people who say it's a waste of money investing in leadership development. I think it's absolutely critical you invest in leadership development, but the right kind. So if you like, what's happened in the last few years is that the stakes have got higher and the flames are rising around leadership development, and we've got to get it right. And I'm trying to contribute to that discussion about how you get it right.
So looking at that investment in development, and a lot of people automatically focus on the very expensive and big bang approach to design, but what are some of the sort of lower effort, lower cost things that organisations can look to do to help start to get that capability development around leadership and some of those behaviour changes that they'd be looking for?
It's a great question, and one of the chapters is called DIY leadership, because I really didn't want to get people into people's heads the idea that, oh, we can only invest X, therefore we can't do a good job. It's not true at all. So some of the things that seem to be working in organisations, just using action learning, getting leaders to work on their own problems and surface some of the challenges that they face and share those challenges. That is very low cost, like nothing. And then if you go beyond that, being able to tap into some of the open source materials that exist, TED Talks, some of the brilliant iTunes U resources from big universities all around the world. There is a massive, really high quality resource which can be built into a program. But the whole point about DIY leadership, the philosophy is, it's not the amount of money you invest, the content you develop, it's the process you put in place. That's what makes it successful. So it's not to do with money and investment, it's to do with thinking it through properly.
And finally, Brexit. Are we going to see you spend more time in Australia?
The absolute truth is my wife, who's Australian, is applying for an Irish passport because her grandfather was born in Cork before he came over to Australia. So it's very depressing. I'm no longer totally panicking and completely depressed about it. It's actually probably not going to be that bad. But the unforeseen consequences of that ridiculous decision to hold a referendum in the first place and then allow it to kind of run away with itself in the second place, the consequences every day, I read newspapers online, every day there's a new diabolical consequence. Nothing good has come out of this, and the kind of racism that's come out of the woodwork is disgusting. It makes me ashamed in a way. But I think we'll be all right, and I'm hoping that there are enough people in Parliament and elsewhere who will want to negotiate as close a relationship as we possibly can with the EU, so we will kind of be in EU light. but there is a certain right-wing component of the Tory party who want to walk away from the single market, and because it's sort of ideologically they don't want to be connected with Europe. I think that's insane. The thing that really depresses me is not for me, it's for my children and grandchildren. It's their future. The EU was created as a magnificent institution that brought countries together after the Second World War, and it was based on we all share common issues, like leadership, and to breach that and jeopardise perhaps the future of the EU as a whole, I think is an act of gross irresponsibility. I'm very upset, but I'm over it. and it does make me feel less inclined to spend time in the UK. But I live there and I have to kind of see it through.
Yeah. Well, all the best with how that's navigated, and good luck with the release of the upcoming book.
Thank you. It comes out in September.
Excellent.
With a bit of luck.
Very good.
Thanks,
Nigel.
Thanks very much, Simon.